were you always until the end pretty much with WCW, and then you would go to other indies and territories at the same time, or did you leave WCW a clean break at some point?
Well, I had been the booker, then Russo came in, then I came back, and I had just signed a 3-year contract. And then Brad Siegel sent me home after I had 2 weeks on my brand new contract. So I went home for 3 years, opened up the biggest gym in the Florida Keys, built it from the ground up. It was great. But I mean, at the time, the Florida Keys didn't have chain stores, so it was only 8,000 square feet, but no chain could come in on top of me. Mm. So it was a great period of my life, yeah.
How did you end up in Smoky Mountain? Because, I mean...
Jimmy and I were friends, and I was working in Japan at the time, and Jimmy would ask me to come in, and because Jimmy and I are good friends. And I had friends in Knoxville because I'd wrestled in Knoxville quite a bit, so it was great to go over.
Yeah. I suppose give us a brief summing up of your time in Smoky Mountain, because I hadn't realised how long you were there for. You had loads of matches, and it was mostly against Brian Lee and the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker was Brian Adams, wasn't he? Adam Bomb.
Yeah, Adam Bomb. I mean, I just saw him, and I didn't realize until, how time kind of clouds your memory, I guess. Brian was a huge, I knew he was big, but I saw he had a tape running behind him. He was a huge, huge guy. And Jimmy I'll tell you something about Smoky Mountain Wrestling. What killed Jimmy was he had Knoxville. If he had gotten Chattanooga 100 miles away, if he had gotten Cincinnati 200 miles away, and if they had given him, he maneuvered with somebody, or if he just went in and took like Roanoke or Winston-Salem, if he had 4 big cities, he might have survived. But you can't keep going to little towns when you don't have a cash flow coming in from the big towns.
You were there during, I suppose, like the peak years when Smoky Mountain was actually making at least a bit of money, and they had they were in the black rather than the red, yeah. And I've heard before that at this time in some towns they were outdrawing WCW.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. I mean, I think as time goes by, that people don't understand how smart Jimmy Cornette was. You had to work with him. You told me he's a very smart guy. He gets fixated on something, he stays fixated on it. And like I said, if he was doing really well in Knoxville, but if you don't reach out to having, we'll say, 2 big towns a week, like if he had Knoxville on Friday and Chattanooga on Saturday, or if he had Cincinnati on a Saturday or a Sunday, where you can afford to bring in a little higher quality of talent to keep him there. Because he was reaching out to Paul Orndorff was there, Ronnie Garvin came in. He was reaching out to guys that were his friends that would love to work for Jimmy, but they weren't going to stay there full time. He needed 1 or 2 anchors, and then he could have built off of it.
And I mean, obviously the wrestling business was in a depression, and obviously Hulk Hogan was going to be having too high of a price tag at the time. But I mean, who out there, 92, 93, was out there who you think could have been that anchor?
It's hard to say because you hit it on the head. We were in a depression, the country. Gas was starting to go up. You had to go, I don't think at that period there wasn't a freelance guy out there that could have, unless you stole somebody away. When I say stole somebody away, unless you offered a bunch of money to somebody that was drawing money and making money. I don't think you could bring anybody in. It was just one of those lapses of the wrestling business, which has its ups and downs, ebbs and flows.
I've got a couple more things about Smoky Mountain. I'll move on. And one of them, someone wrote to me and said you once cut an interview talking about clubbing baby seals in Norway.
Yeah, I did. Of course, I didn't do it, but that's what they used to do. They used to club baby seals. I think I used it as that's as fun as clubbing baby seals. I mean, how does that become a tradition for years and years and years? I mean, clubbing babies, little white baby seals. That was crazy.
Oh no, we've got another call. One sec. And with Smoky Mountain, I can never not ask the requisite Jim Cornette question of, do you remember the time or the first time or the most memorable time he had a complete emotional meltdown over the most minor of incidents?
They all blur together. I mean, it was like that was Jimmy's daily explosion. I do remember one time in a small town in Kentucky where New Jack got on the microphone and said some crazy shit. And Jimmy just about lost it completely when he went like, the old Jackie Gleason bullshit. Ooh, I thought he was going to pass out. But New Jack kept on running his mouth, and Jimmy was, somebody pull the plug, get out there. Yeah.
Was this the one with Jim Ross?
He does have what?
Was this the one with Jim Ross who was doing the interview? It was like on a major event for them.
I don't think this one was. This one was, no, I know it wasn't. He went out there and just grabbed the mic and ran these people down, and we were in white bread Kentucky, and boy, he almost caused some major riots.